All right. Talk Radio. Yeah. Okay, hold on, y'all. Hold. Ho. Everything. Chill. We got it, though. Wait a minute. Slow down, baby. Power Monday all up in your area, baby. Power Monday all up in your area. Let's go. Today, we talking about if your kids brought home someone much younger or older. Well, how would it go? Well, we're going to take a look at that. We're going to take a strong look at it. Maybe it's not too serious. Maybe it's a little deep. We're going to see. Daily, go get up, Mism show. You think it ain't when it is? You think it won't when it is? We are here and we are in motion. We do this thing, taking off fast lane, no coasting, and everything is going to be all right. We're talking about young relationships with our kids tonight. Word. So what about it? Now, see, when you only talking about yourself, whether you chose to date someone older when you were younger, maybe still a minor. Let's say you were 16, 17 years old and you were dating somebody 20, 22, 23, 24, 25 years old. It may not have gone all that well when you brought them home to meet your parents. Or maybe you knew what was going on with that, so you hid that from your parents until y'all got caught or something like that. Or maybe even until you got old enough to be able to present that person as your man or your woman. Or maybe when you were in your 20s, or possibly when you were in your 30s and you were trying to date somebody who was 18, 19. I'm not even going to go into it if you were dating a minor and you were 30 years old, 30 plus years old, and you were trying to date a minor, talk about they be 18 in a minute, they grown, that's word. Well, but it happens. It happens. So those decisions that we may make when we are that age or whatever age is one thing. But the messages that we send to our children, the messages that we send to our kids, when it's their time to make decisions about who they will date, how they will date, and what age frame that they are attracted to, that's when we probably start raising our antennas about what's appropriate and what's not. Because this is bigger than what the world sees. This will have a lot to do with the way that we have raised them and the way that we have shaped the world for them. And we may not be ready. We may not be fully equipped for what comes along with that. But we're going to see about it. We're going to talk about it tonight. You think we ain't? We're going to talk about it tonight. You think we're not? Let's get into it. Yo, what's going on, y'all? First of all, I hope that y'all had a great weekend. I hope that y'all had a great holiday, a great Thanksgiving and all of that. I hope that y'all didn't go broke buying gifts and maybe items for yourself. Black Friday, Cyber Monday, so it's still going on. But if that's what you choose to do, that's what you choose to do. And nobody can tell a fully grown adult what kind of decisions to make for themselves. And sometimes we have children who are fully grown adults, over 18, older than 21 years old, 25 years old, 30 years old. And we watch them. We watch them to see what lessons we have taught them, what messages we have sent them that have stuck with them, shaped their world. What decisions are they making that are based on the decision-making abilities that we instilled in them? Were they listening all those times when they were acting like hardheads, when they were acting like knuckleheads, when it seems like we were talking to brick walls, when they were doing everything the opposite of what we were trying to tell them that was good for them? Did they watch us more than they listened to us? So are they emulating the things that they saw us do instead of listening to what we were telling them not to do? You know how they say. Children watch what you do, not necessarily listen to what you say. Well, I don't know how true that is because I listened to a lot of things my parents said. I watched what they did too, but the words that they spoke to me meant a lot to me, whether I believed the things that they said or not. And I would like to say that I believed every word that my parents said, but I didn't. Especially when you start getting older and you start to believe in yourself and you start to experience the world for yourself and you start to learn things for yourself. Sometimes a little schooling, especially a little higher education, can make you a real know-all, real arrogant person. Like shout out to all my college kids out there. It's hard to tell college kids who are actively learning things that they can prove and research. It's hard to tell them anything. And parents of college students will tell you, like, oh my God. Yeah, they are definitely bright. That's why they were able to get into that school. But I tell you, you can't tell them nothing. They think they know every little thing, but you can tell that they don't know life's lessons. That's the one things that they don't teach you. Those are the things that they don't teach you in classes. You can't get those out of a book. You can't find out life's lessons other in any other way other than living them. So, when you were younger, maybe when you were a minor, you were intrigued, interested, accessible to older men or women. You know, you know how girls be like, they say that women mature faster than men. So sometimes the little boys in a girl's age frame, even maybe a couple of years older, aren't mature enough to keep up with some of the girls. That's what they say. Science even says it. They say that girls mature faster than boys. I'm not exactly sure what that means. I'm not. On the surface, I think I know what it means, but who knows what it really, really means? If a boy is 10 years old and a girl is 10 years old, is the girl as mature as a 13-year-old? And if so, how mature is a 13-year-old? What are we basing the maturity off of when we say that girls mature faster than boys? Okay, whatever that is, because if y'all want to look that up, I'd be interested in hearing some of the answers about that. But if you were younger and you were interested in older boys or older girls, what made you interested in them? Some things are pretty obvious. You know what I mean? It's sort of like young clout chasing. You're like, look, I got an older, girls. I remember when I was a teenager in high school, seeing the girls my age being picked up by these younger men. They were older than us. They were clearly older than us. If I was 16, 17, they were older than 18, 19, 20. So I was seeing on a regular basis girls getting picked up in Benzes and Audis and BMWs and kitted up, rimmed out rides of all kinds. American, foreign, and domestic. And they was coming through. They had the gold on the neck. They had the 3-4 finger rings, all that kind of stuff. I remember these girls getting picked up. And hey, we was 15, 16, 17 years old in school. Maybe had an after school job or something like that. We couldn't compare or compete with that. And them girls, I remember hearing their conversation. They was like, yeah, my man, my boyfriend, blah, 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 blah. He do his thing or whatever. It's funny. I've never heard them say exactly what he did. They wouldn't say like he's a drug dealer, blah, 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 blah. But, we all knew what it was. But they never stated that position. So, of course, guys around my age were a little jealous. We felt some kind of way because we couldn't compete with that. These guys were older, so we know they was getting in their head, and because they were older, the men were having sex with these girls, these young girls. We might not have been able to get none, but them older dudes with the money, They was getting some. And I always wondered, was they getting the girls high too? Who knows? I mean, doesn't all of it come with the territory? You know, you make assumptions about things that you don't know. But my thing is, and where I'm going with this is, I always wonder what their parents thought of it. What did they tell their parents about this dude who already has a car? There's no way you were going to present that young man as being in high school. How are you in high school with a brand new car? Better car than me. All this gold around your neck. You know, these expensive clothes. How? I always wondered what they told their parents. Did their parents know? Was it a situation where they were out in the open for the rest of the world to see, or were they out in the open for the world to see, but everything was hush hush and on the low and underground when it came to their parents? I didn't know. But if their parents found out, like, what would they say? Would it be okay? Unfortunately, that was during the crack era in the 80s. So sometimes parents were paid off to keep their mouth shut or to let things pass. I'm not even kidding, man, because there were so many parents on drugs in the 80s. A lot of kids were able to do whatever they wanted. So yeah, the girl is 16 and her boyfriend is 24. But guess who's keeping the heat on in the house? Her boyfriend. Guess who bought the new microwave? Her boyfriend. Guess who made these Christmases really, really bright and put all them presents under the tree for her brothers and sisters, and sometimes her own newborn child? Rameek. Meek put them presents under the tree. Meek is keeping the lights on in the house. Meek is the one paying the rent. It was like that. It almost seems like prostitution. But because mom might have been on drugs, or she just was greedy. Sometimes mom was just irresponsible. Might not have been on drugs, but she needed money. They was broke. And you know what I mean? Young Meek, 24 years old, had a thing for young Tasha. Tasha and Meek. Inappropriate, yeah. But, you know, it's only 8 years. In a few years, it won't be that much of a difference. Once you turn 20 and he turned 28, it won't be that much of a big deal. He already got a baby by her. The state would say, Rameek got to go to jail. We gotta take Rameek to court. But Mama said, I'm all right with this situation. So you know, that's one example. Do we look at our children different? Do we judge the situation different when our kids bring home somebody older or somebody younger? Do we look at them? Do we look at the situation way different, from a different set of eyes than we do if it was us? So sometimes we have to go back in our own personal history and see the way that we dealt with whatever situations that we were in and whatever decisions that we made. So, younger or older. Now, most parents that I know would not approve of their young daughters or their young sons dating an older man or woman, especially when the father is in the home. When a father is in the home, he ain't trying to see his little girl, his little baby girl. I don't care what their relationship is. He ain't. First of all, father knows what a young boy is trying to do with his daughter. I don't care if the boy loves her or not. He's definitely trying to get up in them guts, and he's going to. Now, if he's an older man, he's already been having sex. You know, and unfortunately, he may already be experienced in it. He may already have some kids himself. So most men, especially when they're in the home or not, they don't want their little their young teenage girls dating no older guy. They don't want their 16-year-old dating, period. But they certainly don't want their 16-year-old dating nobody that's 20, 21, 22, 23. What? He a grown man in the father's eyes. Maybe not on his level, but he's a grown man. So he might be looking at that way sideways, like, First of all, y'all ain't dating no more. And yo, let me talk to you, young blood. Come over here. First of all, you and my daughter, that's it. That's done. That's a done deal. And if you call my house again, it's gonna be a problem. And if I see you around my house again, you have a problem that you're not really ready to deal with. And guess what? I'm that problem. This is not a joke. You know what I'm saying? This ain't out in the down south or some hillbillies, talking about you better marry my daughter if you got her pregnant, or you know what I mean, or you gonna get these shells in your ass. We're not doing that. No. A father doesn't want her daughter dating no older guy. He may not want her dating no guy her age, but for sure not no older guy. It might make that father sick to his stomach. But what if it was the same situation with him when he got with her mother? Maybe he was an older man and she was a young girl, and he was looking out. Like, yeah, she was younger, but she was more mature. You know what I mean? Things were different back in the day, because that's what parents always say. It was different back in the day. Things were different. So when I met your mother, even though I was a good amount older than your mother, your mother was, first of all, she was very independent. She was very mature. So I had to approach your mother from a different angle. She wasn't like no other young girls. And I never really liked no young girls, because, a father can't be admitting that he ever liked no young girls. He can't be doing that. But the proof is in the pudding. You were born when mom was 17 years old and dad was 25. 1, a 2, a 3, a 4. That's 8 years. And I'm sure she didn't get pregnant the first time they had sex or got together. So yeah, he may have been messing around with her since she was 15 or 16. 9 months for the baby. No, baby wasn't premature. Baby wasn't premature. So if a man knows that he has been in that situation before, and not too many men will admit. Cat over here got me tripping. Not too many men will admit that they got a thing for young girls. It comes out, but they won't straight say it unless they are in the company of other men who are into that too. Come here. Where'd you go? Not too many men will straight up tell you, like, yeah, man, I like young girls. You know what I'm saying? I'm young. Yeah, I drive by high schools every now and then. Them young Jones be thick. They be thick. They be looking good. Like, they'll say other things to incriminate themselves. Things like, well, she don't look 13. Don't tell me y'all ain't never hear no dirty young man say that. Well, shoot. Her body don't look like she 13. I used to hear niggas say that. I used to be vexed. Like, what? What? Man, shoot. Them titties ain't 18. Y'all ain't never hear nobody. You ain't never hear no young old head say that. Man, shoot, them titties don't look 18. I mean, I'm sorry. Them titties don't look 13. You a pedophile at 21 years old, dog. At 21 years old, you already a pedophile. What's the road like for you? All right. I'm saying all of this to say this. When you've done certain things yourself, yeah, that's one thing. But when it comes to your kids doing similar things, whether you have shown them that or told them that or not, when you see it, does the narrative of the situation change? Does it become a situation where, oh, well, I know it's okay because my kids are involved and I've raised them right, so it's different. So is it a pedophile when you see it on TV? Is it pedophilia when you see it on TV? But when it's your child, it's like, no, because I've seen the situation and I know my child and they would never blah, 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 blah. Yeah, she a little older. She a little younger than him. But, or if it's a woman, yeah, he a little younger than her, but, you know, it's a more common situation when it's an older guy and a younger woman. But do we start judging that different because it's our son dating a younger girl? Yeah. So here it is. Family reunion. Family reunion. And your son brought his girlfriend to the family reunion. She over there fixing them plate. Like, who cousin is that over there fixing a plate for the boy? Oh, that ain't nobody cousin. That's such and such girlfriend. How old is she? How old is she? I think she like 15 or something like that. Oh, what? That boy 22. He 23, he 24, he 25. It's cool. I'm just asking. Is it cool? Is it cool? What y'all know? Yeah, we getting into this tonight. We getting into this tonight. What's going on, y'all? How y'all feeling? Shout out to all my peoples out there. My brother from another mother, Norris Hill. Sit back, relax, do your thing, Max and chill. And Carol Chamberlain, me friend, me favorita. Thanks for coming on through. And Stacy White, glad to see you much too. And T Carrie, right, morning, noon, and night. It's always great to have my peoples going directly into your site. Mia Cunningham, goddamn, thanks for coming on through. Good to see you. And Emily Dunlap is in the house. Wow, about to turn it out. And my brother Ansel Jones, Baltimore brother. Girls just can't leave him alone. What's up, my brother? What's up, y'all? So yeah, what we talk about? Make sure y'all hit that like button, y'all. Make sure that y'all share the show. Make sure that you subscribe to the channel if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet. This is the Daily Go Getimism show, and we are talking about if your kids brought someone home much younger or much older. Yeah, how would that go? You all right with that? You good? Hey, yo, you good? You good? Everything good? Levels is good. Levels is good. Levels is good. Yeah, sometimes we have to make some hard decisions when our kids start making their own decisions. But does it change? What are we seeing when it comes home that type? You know, it's almost like, you know, let's say your children have committed some kind of crime. You know, your young son, 19, 20 years old, he done robbed somebody or got caught selling drugs or whatever the case may be. He got to do jail time. You know, that's something we got to deal with. Other drug dealers do whatever they do, but I know my son only got into that because he was running with the wrong crowd. He's not a bad guy. See, none of our children are bad when we love them. We never want to see our children as being bad when we love them, because we love them. But other people's children who do the same thing, sometimes we have a lot to say about that now, don't we? My baby is my baby, and I have a lot more information about that because that's my baby. So no matter what happens, nobody better not say nothing about my baby. But what if your baby got a thing for young? All right, let's take it away from the young a little bit, because I know that can make people uncomfortable. You know what I mean? Make it uncomfortable. you know, we learn a lot more from the things that make us uncomfortable, though, don't we? You know, we start really, really, really getting it together when we got to get uncomfortable, because you got to learn how to either deal with an uncomfortable situation, or you got to find a way to get comfortable with it. You got to find a way to get comfortable. Yes, 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 yes. You got to get comfortable, Shane. Well, what about if they brought somebody? Well, we kind of touched on this. You know, we kind of touched on this. You know, if they brought home somebody older, older. But let's get to the boys for a minute. Mothers, especially black mothers, but actually universally, it seems like mothers are very protective of their sons. See, women know how women are. Women understand the intentions of other women, especially black women. Black women are very distrustful of other black women. It's not something that our community is proud of or should be proud of, but that's the way it goes. And one of the reasons we are distrustful, or women are distrustful of other women, is because women understand the motives of other women. So although men may have their nose open and be all blinded by the light of love when it comes to women, other women can see right through other women. That's why lesbians are always arguing with each other. You know what I mean? That's how it is from my point of view. They'll never seem to be all happy with each other and all that. There's always a lot of beef. Because women don't want to do nothing that other women say. They don't want to obey by other women's rules. When women lie to each other, they know they're lying. Women get over when they lie to men, not when they lie to other women. Other women be like, man, if you don't go somewhere with that bullshit, you must think I'm a man. Nobody's trying to hear that. Am I right or am I wrong? But so women are very protective over their sons. So what if your son, 16 years old, brought home a woman, 24 years old, 22 years old? You know he having fun because you know what's going on. She turning your young man out. She's showing him all them things. He gonna learn. He gonna know how to please a woman by the time he turned 21. He gonna be a superstar. A superstar, but he didn't get far. So, but how would it be with you? How would it be? Would it be okay? We've all probably seen these situations. We probably all seen these situations. You know, your young man done scored himself an older young hottie with a body. You know what I'm saying? She is carefully schooling him on how to touch a woman, how to talk to a woman, how to please a woman, how to be with a woman. Turn that boy into a pimp. Turn that boy into a pimp. He's a young pimp. So how would it go down? If your young son, 16, 17 years old, brought home a woman who was about 24, 25, 26, God forbid she'd be like 30. We all probably remember stories of that teacher who was like 30 something, whatever, and she was messing around with the boy who was like 14, and she was married. You know what I mean? She couldn't leave the young boy alone either. I don't know what he was doing to her. She lost her whole family, went to jail over the young boy. Couldn't leave him alone. Like, I've been in love with him since he was in the 8th grade, baby. Y'all remember that story? I remember that story. I think it was more than one story. Yeah, she went to jail and lost her husband behind all that. She was with it. Well, what would you do? How would you handle that situation? What kind of conversation would you have with the woman? And fathers, I need to know from you. Ansel, Norris, if your son was dating a significantly older woman at the time of whatever age he was, like if your son was 16 and he presented his girlfriend who was 24 to you, would you be all right with it? Would you say, "Oh, son, I see my boy becoming a man"? Or would you be like, "I don't know, this ain't cool"? What kind of conversation does a father have with a young woman who's significantly older than his son about their relationship? What does a father say? We always we pretty much know what the mother is going to say, but what would the dad say? Because not too often do we find out what that conversation is about. What we looking at? What we doing? What we doing? Carol says, my son better not bring a woman anywhere my age. Hell no. Uh-huh. TK Wright says, I made the woman feel small. One was 24, another 32. Both left in tears. How old was the son? If one was 32. Oh, and this is when he was 17. Wait, it's the same son that had the 24-year-old and the 30. How old? And he had a 17. I mean, he was 17. He had a 32-year-old, a 32. Okay. Carol says, and my daughter better not either. What you want with my daughter, old head? TK Wright says the boy got custody of the baby. Oh, so this went down. Oh. Mia says, in the reverse, I had a young man, 19, that was trying hard to get with me. I was like, boy, I'm old enough to be your mom. My daughter is older than you. He said, I don't want her. I want you. Yeah, but we ain't talking about that. We talking about if it was your daughter or your son, how we handling that situation. We know that young boys be trying to holler at old heads. We know. You know what I mean? And depends for some, and I don't mean to call you old per se, but to him, to a 19-year-old, ain't none of us young. Ain't none of us even younger than half his age. You know what I'm saying? So, but we know, get an old head. It's a little bit of clout, but it's PlayStation 5s involved. Pair of Timbs involved. You know what I mean? Look. If you're a young man and you interested in an older woman and she ain't breaking bread, I don't know what to tell you. That's a different situation. I didn't had some cougars try to tell me that the young boys be giving them money. I'm like, man, I wouldn't even give you money. You ain't built like that. I don't even see the past in you. Forget about the future in you. I don't even see the past in you. I don't think you was never really all that. I had to have this conversation with a chick. She was 57 when I was about 40, 42. She tried to tell me her young cubs, like she got it like that. Like she got a stable of young boys. They be giving her money and all. I was like, I wouldn't buy you a drink at the health juice bar. You must be crazy. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't give you a free water at a cookout. You talking about?
Seconds.
You talking about? Because, at the time, she was significantly older than me. I'm 42, 43, or whatever. She talking this mess. She 57. I'm like, you trying to convince me or yourself? Because I didn't ask you.
60 seconds.
I think I had either done a show or put a post on my page about, cougars or old heads. It was something like that. And she felt some kind of way about it. You gonna inbox me talking that mess? I was like, look, man. I was like, we ain't got nothing to talk about. First of all, my post or the show ain't had nothing to do with you personally. I didn't know that was your situation. But now that I know that it is your situation, good for you. You say your young boys give you money? All right. It's something like a unicorn. I never really seen it. Pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. Never really seen it. I heard a lot about it. I hear there are gifts there. Okay. Ansel Jones says, son, what the fuck are you thinking? Stay in your lane. You know how young boys are. They trying to get a sip of that water. They trying to get a sip of that because it's clout. For young people, male or female, it's clout. Oh yeah, somebody older is interested in me. Like, I might not be nothing. I might not be nobody in the lunchroom. But there's a meeting in my bedroom. Oh, Lord. But there's a good chance that the whole argument, the whole narrative will change because it's our son. Especially if we know it's already a done deal. If we know that there ain't nothing we can do to stop the situation, do we get comfortable with the situation? Do we start defending the situation? Do we sweep the situation under the rug? A lot of parents do that. We dealing with something inappropriate that our kids may be doing or something that we're uncomfortable with. And we just listen, just make sure your grandmother don't find out. Make sure that your aunties and your uncles don't find out. Just make sure that the neighbors ain't coming to me. You know what I mean? I can't stop it. I know it ain't right. I ain't feeling it, but I can't stop it. So I might as well do the best to get involved and keep everybody safe. Because I don't want you to end up in a situation where I cannot sweep it under the rug because you done got locked up over this. Because your parenting is going to come into question. You're going to be asking yourself, where did I go wrong? What did I do to make this boy be wanting these young girls? Because it might not have started when he was all that young. Maybe when he was 15, he was already looking at 11-year-olds. Yeah, it happens. Sure does. And when you're young, those 3-4 years, it's a significant difference. When you was 10 years old going into middle school and a boy that was an 8th grader was interested in you, you know what I mean? That's you a little girl. He on his way to high school. Beauty school dropout, go back to high school. Beauty school dropout, go back to high school. Yeah. It gets heavy. When it comes home and we got to deal with this situation, when you have to defend a situation that ain't really right in your mind and in your heart, what do? You going to stop talking to your son? You going to cut your daughter off? because you know they wrong. Yeah. If your kids brought someone home younger or older, how you looking at it? All right, let's make it a little bit more interesting and maybe a little less legal. Or what should I say? A little more legal. Let's make it less illegal. Let's say your son or your daughter is, I don't know, 40. 40. A whole 40 years old. Now, I know that some of y'all are not old enough to have a 40-year-old, but tell you what, let's do 35. And they messing with somebody 12, 15 years younger than them. Is it okay with you if your son is 15 and he's messing around with a 20-year-old? She legal. 2 years legal. Already applied and is eligible for selective service. Will be tried as an adult for any crime that they commit. I mean, that's cool. Is it cool? He's 35, she's 20 years old. Fresh out of her teenage years. We good? Hey, my nigga, we good? We good? Levels is good. Levels is good. Levels is good. Holla at me. What we know? Is that all right? Is it all right? Carol says. Oh, Carol, you talking about the situation I was talking about? She said, but didn't she later marry that young man and have children? I believe so. And how do we look at that? Was that a happy ending, or what kind of ending is that? That ended. That ending is something like Law and Order SVU. On anybody who watches SVU, it don't never end nice. You know what I mean? People get killed at the end of SVU. You thought they was gonna get away clean. Somebody get their head shot off in SVU. SVU be that's a dirty ending show. You know what I mean? TK right says yes. The oldest boy, when he was 17, he had a 24-year-old and a 32-year-old. Wow. The boy who was messing with his teacher got the teacher pregnant and he got custody. Yeah, that's what happened. That's what happened. Lord. Carol Chamberlain says, I tell the young guys I work with, that I work with, I'm their auntie. Mm-hmm. Yeah, they got their eyes on the sparrow, don't they, Carol? You the sparrow. Keep your eyes on the sparrow. No, I said Carol. What did the honeycomb say? Wanted, wait, young man, young and free. Experience and love preferred, but will accept a young trainee. See, Carrie writes, oh boy, at age 35. I mean, this is something we got to deal with. See, we judge our friends and other people that we hear about and all of that differently. But when it comes home to us, it's a reflection on the way that we raised them, the values that we taught them. What we told them or taught them or showed them or coached them or tutored them or nurtured them into what is appropriate and what not. What lessons did you teach your children that made them think that somebody was that was almost half their age is okay to date? It might be all right with you though. Now you got to explore yourself. Like, I don't see the problem. Everybody here is grown. I mean, look at Hugh Hefner. Hugh Hefner, you know, all the way up until the time he died, he was always messing with them young Playboy bunnies. I'm like, yeah, and you know what that was about. You know what that was. You know what that was about. I always wondered how old. I always wondered if Hugh Hefner was still potent after a certain age. You know, because he was pretty old when he died. Okay, let's see. How old was Mr. Hefner? Hey, Mr. Hefner. How old was Hugh Hefner when he died? 91. God damn, he was 91. Hefner, and he died by sepsis brought on by an E. coli infection. Damn. 91? And he died in the Playboy Mansion. All right, Hugh. And look, born April 9th, 1926. All right, Hugh. I mean, I always wonder, like, was he still able to touch something in his older years, or was he just like his magazines? They ain't really show nothing in them Playboy magazines. They ain't show nothing in Playboy that you couldn't show in those Sports Illustrated. What was that? Remember the Sports Illustrated used to have, what was that? The swimsuit issue. Playboy was a whack ass so-called nudie magazine. It showed a little bit of titty. You ain't never seen no twat on the Playboy magazine. It was supposed to be a classy nudie magazine. That's why, you know, the Hustler boy, he came out with Hustler. He was like, no, put the camera on the pussy. Put the camera on the pussy. That's what I need you to put the camera. This ain't that Playboy. We ain't clean it up like this. This is a dirty magazine. Anyway. TK Wright says, my parents had to deal with me and a 50-year-old when I was 25. They said they could only be okay with it because it's me. A 50-year-old when you was 25? I ain't gonna lie, man. I'm 52. And I don't even want to be a turn on for these young girls. I'm like, nah, man. Like, come on, man. You got your whole life ahead of you. You know what I'm saying? Don't rush to get all the way up here. This ain't where you want to be. You know, it took that time between 25 and 50. That's significant time. You don't need somebody that's already there. You gotta live that. You know what I mean? That's a special period. You know, because that's the real grown time. You know, before 25 is what it is. But 25 to 50, that's basically where your knowledge base is coming from. Real shit. Because you're going to experience so much in that time. Pain, heartbreak, victory, defeat, depression, happiness, highs, lows, good, bad, betrayal, loyalty. You're going to learn about what all of that means, and if any of it really applies or is what they say it is. Plus, I'm gonna tell you the truth. And listen, other old heads won't admit this for whatever reason. Other old head men don't seem to want to admit it. But sex when you was younger, that shit wasn't really all that. The twat has to age a little bit. It gotta, you know what I mean? It's all right when you be thinking that it's all that when you in your 20s and 30s, but that shit, it'd be too much eyes and oohs and I wait and it's better. I'm gonna just put it out there. 40-year-old twat way better than it is. 60. It's way better than 30 and 20. It is. I can't speak for all men, but I think that I'm an example that can speak for a large percentage. I wouldn't expect my son or my daughter to understand all that. You know, but you know, we don't never want to look at our kids as being no pedophiles, being no dirty young men or women. We don't want to look at our deficiencies and our pain and our parenting as
10 seconds
influencing them to go out and do that. Make sure y'all hit that like button, man. Make sure y'all share the show. Make sure that y'all subscribe to the channel if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet. Carol says, not my opinion, Omar. What was happy about it? Happy about what? The years between 25 and 50? I ain't say it was happy. It wasn't no happy time. It's the significant time. It's the time when you really grow up. It's the time, if I'm answering the right question. Nah, those wasn't happy times. I mean, I embraced my 20s. I miss my 20s. That's the only age that I miss. 30s was cool, but I miss my 20s because it was that innocence. It was fun not to know everything, but think you know everything. To really, really believe you know everything, and then find out that you really ain't know shit. But you kept getting away with shit because you were so energetic and you was learning so much and all of that you kept getting by. You know? But no, all I was saying about messing with a 50-year-old if you 25 is that 50-year-old is going to try to get you to 50 faster than you're ready to be, and he can't or she can't do that. So their expectations of you are going to be higher than what you could ever deliver. We can dress the part, act the part, and all of that, but we can't be that. You're born in whatever year you're born in. You can't be born in no other year. All right. We're about to do these birthday shout outs. We have some birthday shout outs to do. Some people were born on this glorious November 28th, and they deserve to be acknowledged. So let's go about our business of acknowledging them and making them feel special because they are special because they are special because they are SPECIAL. They get the RESPECT. They are SPECIAL. They get the RESPECT. They are SPECIAL. They get the RESPECT. They get number one out the box, Carmagello Mogapi. Happy birthday to you. And also Alejandra German. And that's really Alejandra Herman. Turning 44 years old today. And also Indianan Carmen Zorilla Rodriguez, turning 35 years old. And Bridget Bonner, turning 36 years old. And Tangela Finch, turning 61 years old. And Rosebelly Humor, happy birthday to you. And Deani Weller, turning 42 years old, and April Simon, turning 45 years old, and Muchina Lexi, happy birthday to you, and Tinka Pretty, Happy birthday to you. It's Shakina Walker, turning 75 years old today. Is that right? And last but not least, Jackie Connolly Wood. Jackie Wood, happy birthday to you. I want to say happy birthday to all y'all and anyone else out there who shares this birthday on this glorious November 28th, anywhere out there in the world. I hope that the day finds you in good health, happiness, mind, body, soul, and spirit. All y'all go ahead and turn up. But don't turn up too loud. Just turn up loud enough so everybody can hear you. Rock out, rock on it, do the damn, rock out, rock on it, do the damn, rock out, rock on it, do the damn thing. You do your thing, y'all. Represent the queens and kings. You do your thing, y'all. Represent the queens and kings. Good things happen to those who wait. Great things happen to those who grind. And anything can happen to those who go for theirs. So go hard, go for yours, and remember, man, listen, it might be okay for you, but when it's okay, but when it's your kids, is it okay? It might be all right for somebody else's kids, and you might talk mad-ish about their kids, but when it's your kids doing something that's maybe not illegal, maybe you'll be calling me baby, maybe. But when it comes to our kids, does it become okay? Do we relax the rules? Do we say that I can see how and how come and eat op work eat op work eat op work that means I love you. Peace to all my day ones, my everydays, and my brand news. I love y'all to death. Resuscitate y'all. Love y'all right back to life. We will be back tomorrow night for another Daily Go Get 'Emism show, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So make sure y'all come through. So Blog Talk, we're going to get you out of here. Yeah.
Blog Talk Radio. Goodbye.
And for my YouTubers, you know just how we do, but thanks for coming on through. See you on the other side, my boobas. Yeah, on the other side, my boobas. Yeah.